let's be sensible.
No one did. You know, the difference
I can hear myself. Hopefully it's not me.
Siri.
I can hear someone in the background.
All right, whoever has LinkedIn on, cancel it.
I think it's Gladys. I just muted you, Gladys. So do remember to mute when the time comes. You know, so as saying that voice search, you know, it was meant to be, but today it didn't quite take hold. You know, and AI is here now. Let's see how far we get with it, right? Like, of course, I think it's a conversation we might have one day.
It's just going to get more and more proficient and efficient, and it's going to revolutionize a lot of the ways we do business, but you still want human to human connection. So I simply don't think it's going to take away sales. It's not going to take away your authentic voice. It's not going to take away well, I don't think from good movies, but who knows? It's not going to take away from
you can make great videos and make great movies, right? So let's not deny that.
I mean, I think it will revolutionize medicine in a way that we do not know yet. So
again, no, it's whether we're talking AI or robotics.
It's like all one thing in my mind. It's just like
that looks quite scary, Joni. It looks quite scary, right? Look.
I mean, I did not tell you I was some super techie girl, but when you really believe in something that you know change is coming, I mean, get on board. What about like when the internet came out and I'm in like the high school library, like, what is this internet thing? It's crazy. This is so crazy. I don't even know. What do you mean internet? I mean, I really remember having that thought. I'm like, I thought it was like essentially like a dictionary online, which I guess it was, but still, it's interesting how things can really evolve into something so critical to society. So
for sure.
I mean, look at us. We're talking on the internet. Oh, we are. I live here. You live there. You live there.
And I was online 20 years ago. I was online when the internet first started in this country, and I've been one of the first 5,000 internet companies. I started working for when I was 20.
Was it CompuServe?
No, the Shelf International. So I was writing content. So, you're a CompuServe. Okay, look, let's see how this thing evolves. I mean, I see many pitfalls. Cyrus, I'm saying this to you, Toby, as well, to you especially, because you do marketing, both of you. I think there's a question that we haven't answered yet. There's many questions we haven't answered yet, Joni. The accuracy, for example, is one of them. The other one is really, where do we as small businesses go when it comes to AI search? If people are going to search on AI, who are they going to show in the results? Are they going to show us small businesses, or are they going to show the big brands that corner the market again? That's one of the things I think we should be very mindful of, and we need to make a plan for. Maybe you're right, Joni. This is why we need to carry on being personal as small businesses, right? Because the tech is not going to help us. Tech is going to help the big brands, and I find that so unfair. I think that's scandalous. That's what the internet did. I say when I was on the internet 20 years ago, I told myself and I told the world, I just write about these things and predict where we're going to be. And I said, internet's going to make the world a fairer place. It's going to give the person out of Mongolia the same chance of selling their products as the person in the US. And look what happened. It didn't happen. Amazon cornered the market, right? For everything. Who saw that coming? I'm saying now the dangers are there. We need to make a plan for ourselves. So my friends, I'll say, look, before I get into our topic, I'll say this. If you want to publish your book, you want to write your book, if you want to market your book, if you want to become a bestseller, guaranteed, let's talk. I want to help you become famous. That's what we do, right? Meanwhile, get that book behind me, Lessons We Learned from COVID. It's a real book. It is, it does exist, and that's a book that we wrote. Let me show you a copy so you know that it's not just a picture. The book is here, my friends. Lessons we learned from COVID. I love. Go and get. If you haven't got it yet, go and get it. I think Daddy said she's going to get it. When I spoke to her a couple of days ago, go and get it. It's on Amazon. The 10 also telling the stories about the pandemic. So do go and see how we survived, how we learned, and how we thrived. That's my message to you today. Look, our topic, this room is what if, right? What if? What if in a human, it's a human condition. What if it goes wrong? What if it doesn't happen? What if I lose all my money? What if I fail? No, change all of that. What if you win? What if you do succeed? What if you are the big thing in the world? What if the world is yours and you just have to reach out and grab it and build a business that's going to go across the globe? Because we can, right? We really can. Like I always say, that what if that leads to greatness starts with a bold idea. We have to create a solution that the world needs, something that no one else has. And I want to believe we're divinely gifted. We have special gifts. That's why we're here. I think a friend of mine said, a couple of days ago, someone I met, and she's like, if we don't use our special gift, it's taken away from us. I think it was Dwayne. I'm like, no, if we don't use our special gift, what happens? He said, well, we're sort of stuck in the repeat loop. It's like Groundhog, right? So you keep doing the same thing over and over and over until eventually the universe gives up on you and says, you're not going to use the skill that you have. So you don't actually need to be alive to be reborn, to be, whatever you think happens when we die, the world doesn't need you if you're not going to implement. So, bye. That's a scary thought, right? Tamrat, I see your comments, my friend. Tamrat says, the hardest part isn't having a bold idea, it's holding on to it when no one sees it. I agree with you, Tamrat, completely. It's speaking when silence feels safer. Stay excited, not because they believe in you, because you still believe in the dream that you can't yet see. Oh, Tamrat, I love that. It's, I guess for our topic today, my friends, it's a strange reality. The reality is this. Many people get off on the idea of having an idea when we should get off, we should enjoy, build on, celebrate when we implement. The idea is only the idea. The idea is not, that's not the solution. Your solution is the solution when you actually implement your idea, right? So, but there's a weird thing that happens in our lives. I'm talking about this in the next couple of days. You see, the journey to creation is not easy. We know, I'm sure we know that, right? Again, for those on stage, for those in the comments, how many people have you known who have the idea? It's a great idea. It's a word beater, as Jenny just talked about the AI thing, right? They have the idea. They start working towards it. They're excited at the beginning. We all. I'm the same. We're all excited, right? We're gonna do this. Because we want to do it. Because it makes sense. It's gonna change the world. It's gonna change our world at least, right? And then the nearer we go towards delivering our idea, the fulfillment, I call it, implementation, we lose energy. We lose our drive. We lose our focus. Like I said, this is not a unique thing to some people. This is a thing that we all. I think we all suffer from this. So if this if this sort of thing that this affects you, please put in the comments. Do you have ideas, and then the further down the road you go, the more you find that you're losing focus, you're losing drive, you're losing energy. I say because you're losing excitement about the idea. Of course, there's many more things in the background going on in our subconscious, in our mind, that makes this happen, right? Tomorrow I'm talking about life spiraling. It's not far off to say the same concept in that it's always interesting how many people blow up, literally. when they get towards delivering an idea. So just when for me, there's a big project, a big deadline to be met, and then suddenly, just when I have a plan to deliver my part, as we all get, my friends. The cat dies, grandma is ill, the kids are not well, the kids misbehaving, life, the economy is blowing up, Trump is in power. I could carry. I'm saying life just spirals, right? It's the same thing as I'm talking about today, really. How do we keep focused? How do we keep from burning out? How do we keep on track? There are many ideas.
I think we need to hear from Cyrus.
Yeah, no, I'll happily go to Cyrus. Mrs. Cyrus, do you know what I'm talking about, Cyrus? About how we'll lose focus as we get towards the end.
Yeah, it's not a fact that it's basically the
Hi, Eddie. Hi, everybody. Morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are based. It's a pleasure to be here. I was going to say, yes, it's not, for me, it's not just towards the end. I tend to lose focus along the way because new ideas constantly present them to me from friends, from the most from sources you would never imagine. Like who reads magazines anymore? I sometimes sit down in a barber shop and open a magazine and I get an idea. And I got a supplement idea which I launched next year, and I got it from a magazine. So if you search in, you will find them. But the main thing, the main thing is to keep the main thing. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing, right? So then the main idea should always be kept in the center, front and center. Why? Because you'll never bring a project to fruition if you don't see it through and bring it and push it past the finish line, would you? So you will benefit from ideas that are implemented fully, right? So an airplane wouldn't fly without just one of the wings or one of the with a missing engine. So the idea is not complete. So I personally think, I mean, based on my experience, if you presented with sometimes when I say presented, I mean sometimes they are imposed upon you, like the death of a family member, like I don't know, failing an exam, or a sale won't go through. I don't know, whatever event happens in your life, that thing is not supposed to stop you from pursuing your main goal. The main goal is called the main goal for a reason, right? So why is it that many people get distracted towards the end? They lose, they fizzle out, so to speak. So the ideas fizzle out and the energy subsides. Why does that happen? Because we're human beings. We are governed by hormones and emotions. So we have to control them. Otherwise, they will control you. And that is probably the main reason why people get distracted, because they are controlled. They lose control to the emotions and how they feel towards the end. They're tired. They're full of frustration. Things haven't gone their way. Things haven't happened as they imagined them. Perhaps they didn't foresee things going wrong, perhaps. I don't know. So people get distracted because of things that are important to people, like things not going your way. In my view, that's one of the main things. When your expectations aren't met, basically. That's one of the things that's a really massive distraction for people. Distraction isn't someone calling you and you're losing 20 minutes of your time. Distraction is something fundamental, something that affects you so fundamentally, it takes you like 2 weeks before you can get back on track again. That's a proper distraction. That's how people get distracted, in my view.
Laughing, Cyrus, I'm laughing. Now, look, you've hit the nail on the head in many parts of our conversation. Now, essentially, you hit probably every part that I think we're going to mention today, right? Distractions, distractions. Distraction is going to be a big thing, Cyrus. And again, the what if question. What if I did that instead? Yeah. Again, in my world, now let's say you're writing a book, right? Everyone starts with energy, and then they lose the energy. As you said, energy subside, Cyrus. That's the truth, right? Is it because we lose interest? Yeah, of course it's partly so. But distractions, which can be social, just scrolling social media every day, that's your new obsession, right? It can be doing
expectations
research.
as well. Yeah, expectations as well.
Yeah. I think that's towards the end, Cyrus. I think that's towards the end, right? I think our emotions and expectations come later on. Again, let me use my uni days. See, when I was young, of course, I went to uni. I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna publish my dissertation. I'm gonna do such an amazing business psychology research that the world's gonna want to know what I found. My topic was how do we get satisfaction at work, really? I know what the theory says. You know what? The topic's not important. I got to do my dissertation. Halfway through, I thought, you know what? Sod this. I don't care. It's not going to get published. Number one, because no one really cares. So now, the frustration you mentioned, Cyrus, comes in, and you begin to think, I just want to just get it done. I just need to just hand something in and pass this damn course and move on. So all my great expectations to create something genius was out the window. Now, so my son's 16 now. He told me yesterday, you know what? As you get towards the end of any project, let it go. Now, don't be so hung up on it. Relax your mind. Tell yourself it's not that important. I don't agree. I really don't. I think that's part of the expectations you're talking about, Cyrus, where we we suddenly realize how hard it's going to be to get what we want, which is for people to love our idea, take our idea, run with it, and hell, even pay us for the idea and pay us for doing our solution, right? And we suddenly realize it's going to be another whole mountain to climb to get them to even care about what I've created. What if they don't care? What if no one pays me? What if no one cares about this idea? What if it doesn't work? It's all these things.
Ideas we've all had them since Eve kissed Adam.
Yeah, and like I say, it's like a part of the body, right? Everyone's got one, So, but unless we find a way to stay on track, my friends, we're doomed. So I think people forget, Cyrus, that one non-completion sows the seeds for more non-completion. I think who mentioned it earlier in the comments? I think it was Daniel.
It sets a precedent, yeah.
Yes, but it's by the stories to tell ourselves, right? And if we don't deliver, and then we start telling ourselves, I never deliver, I never finish things, I never see things through. It means your next idea, halfway down the road, you're going to think, I never see things through, so I'm going to let this one go as well. And then we'll become the person who never finishes, who never implements their ideas. Once we become that person that tells ourselves never finish their idea, we're doomed. I think we need to stop ourselves long before we get to that story of being failures, of being scaredy pants, and become a different sort of person, right? That's what I'm hoping we're going to bring out today. We can tell ourselves, we can create a narrative that we are doers. Cyrus, you're a doer, but you know that already. Joni, you're a doer. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
That's the story to tell ourselves, because that's our reality, and that makes
Joni, I'm proud of you. Joni, I'm proud of you.
Ah, thank you.
She's remarkable.
I'm proud of you.
It's a love fest. Oh, I love. I say I love the love amongst my friends. I really do. Yeah. So look, we can become the people that actually do get to the end of things. We have to be those people, right? Tobiloba, I'm coming to you next. Let me welcome Dr. Lisa. Hello, Lisa. How is your holiday going? We took a break from our room, your metamorphosis room. But August is here, Lisa. Another week, and then we'll be back to your metamorphosis again, right? Who's LinkedIn user says we rely on tech for way far too much. The proof, the proof when I had when the whole world went down under attack. Though I prefer the human touch, using robotics can be useful. About 1 year ago, robotic operating broke down and the patient died. Ooh, there's good, bad, and I don't like AI much. No, for sure. Look, it's such a worry. I'm hoping that this is Annie. I hope it is. I don't know. So I can't see yet. I need to go to my event page to see. I think it's my sister Annie. So welcome, Annie. Tech can always break down. The humans have to, right? Now I got my noise behind me. Professor Roxana, welcome. I see you as well. Super author, super mathematician, super accountant. Well, wealth builder, really, not so much an accountant. No. If we want to make money, talk to Dr. Roxana. Even better, buy her book, my friends. Buy her book, right? You got 2 books. Now, one's on building for your family wealth. The other one is on passive income ideas that you can implement right now. So Daniel said, I went to an internet show in 1995 in Boston. Wow, Daniel, that's a few years before me. So I had computers, and I was using word processors when I was 20. In 1995, I was using word processors just about. Playing games on the Spectrum, the games console with a cassette. Yay! I hadn't even upgraded to games console with floppy disk at that stage. God,
I mean, Tetris was my joy. My joy. I would play Tetris all day, every day. And now I'm just like, what? This is the most genius thing. Like that movie that cares about Tetris.
Wow, Joni, wow.
Whoa. Amazing. Like the lengths they got it to like get into Russia.
I remember that. And the snake.
I'm sorry.
You think it's snake, right?
Quirky stuff.
You think it's snake. Again, I think sort of games. I had a ski game, but it was so compared to the games now, it was god awful. Literally ski down the hill. That was it. Left, right, and then I think the other game that we used to play a lot of was when the ball bounces off a platform, off like your platform. You have to move your platform from side to side to stop the ball from falling off the screen. And then you break bricks. Is it called bricks? I'm sure it is, right? And then what's the other one with something chasing you? Pac-Man. That's the one. My son reminded me of yesterday.
That's Taxman.
It feels like it, I tell you. It does feel like it. I laugh. I say, those game tech, the tech in the old days we've come a long way. Put it that way, right? Where we're gonna get to. Who knows? Flying cars? Oh, we don't even have this in internet in half the world. By the way, I'm just saying.
Hey, Annie.
Annie, I think Zara's here.
Yeah, sorry, Zara. I was looking somewhere else. How are you doing, Zara? Glad you're here.
You were looking somewhere else. What direction is it? Left or right?
Comments. To my right in the comments, Zara. I had to look.
Annie, I had to cancel things for you today. I had to cancel things.
You are here, superstar. You are here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Look, I've got glasses on because
wearing
I'm
glasses
not.
on. Excellent.
Yeah, no contacts in today.
Is your eyesight getting worse, or are you just you choosing to look cool in your glasses?
Why are you putting me like this?
What do you mean?
There's no filters. There's nothing.
What microphone you got there? You got to send me that post. Is that for
She's a
Amazon?
Zara's a podcast.
I'm a podcaster. Yeah, I'm a
well,
podcaster with
so am
fiddly
I.
things. Yeah, I podcast. I think maybe any. So I've decided to do this right. So I've podcasted before with a show called that Annie says is dead. It was called Real Talk, Real Queens, and did not know anything about podcasting. I had no idea, and I thought, do you know what? People listen to me. I'm a teacher. They have to listen to me, right? So let me do this podcasting thing. Did it for around 8 months. Then thought, do you know what? I need a different platform. I need a different narrative. I need a different type of like energy around me. I needed my own energy to be able to, like, when you meet somebody and they speak so much and you think, wow, this person has so much to say, but you need them to be selective with how they speak. So I thought I'll create a brand new podcast, call it Real Talk Reclaims, because the first one was called Real Talk Real Queens. Now we reclaim back our power. And it's done very, very, very well. It's only been going on so I've done 5 episodes. It's 11 days.
Is that a month and a half? Or-
Where do we find those? Is this
On Spotify and on Apple. On Spotify and Apple.
Okay.
But we, as in me, myself, and the 3 that support me. The odd thing is there's someone, one of my listeners, he put a comment the other day saying, I want to thank your production team. And I thought, the production team is me, myself, and I.
Yeah,
Because
all of
when
you.
you dedicate yourself to, as you know, Annie, when you have this vision and you think, I know what I'm doing, I know where I'm going, I understand. Today, your thing is how to keep excited on the road to achieve our bold ideas. I think, Annie, the most important thing is sometimes when you have this vision and you don't have anyone who hears it, and then you connect with people on LinkedIn, those people you connect in LinkedIn, utilize their skills, learn from them, and never feel like you cannot learn. Because the majority of people, I think people carry this thing of like, I know everything. And no one knows everything. I believe in God. No one knows everything but God, right? But if I meet someone on LinkedIn, the first thing, like Annie taught me my very first time, Annie, Annie coffees? We have Annie coffees, right? And Annie WhatsApp calls and Annie Zara complaint calls.
Yes.
So you basically introduced me to this world that I had no idea about. And I thought, you spoke about the last mile in one of your lives.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm not there. I'm doing really well. But when you say that part of you that says push, and you think someone is pulling, let me drop, right? Let me drop. Let me go and find people that don't push and pull, but remain walking in the direction. Like you have marathon runners that are going to guide you. They're going to tell you what should you do, where you should go, this type of thing. So going from podcasting with a co-host to podcasting for yourself, by yourself, is so much more harder, but there's so much more freedom. And Annie, you heard the song I did. I was so proud of myself. I was like, woo! Thank you to Cyrus.
I'm proud of you. Again, I might play one of the songs.
Well, and I followed on Spotify, so I'm going to listen to some of your stuff. And I had a very short stint with a podcast from I do to I don't, which really was a play on saying I do to a pretty not great husband, to saying I don't to him. And then it really meant more about change as you get older and how you're able to speak about things that interest you. You're less afraid of who you are. But I am glad that you are part of the LinkedIn community, because it has been just a wonderful home for me. I've met so many friends, obviously, Annie and but so many more. Sharon and Natalie and Whisper Boy. And the list goes on, the Michelles. And I have like a whiteboard written down of everyone's names and something that they have shared with me. And I am a very, very supportive of people, and suffer from very similar challenges and have such great stories to tell, and so and wonderful happy memories. So I use this as, like, I don't know, let's just say quote unquote therapy, but it is it's a great thing and a great outlet, and just some of the most fantastic people I've ever met. Michael, wish you were still here.
I'm sure he'll come back.
Lisa, oh gosh, I mean, so many people. It's just amazing, just like how kind and interesting it can be to get yourself immersed into different groups around the world, and it has made me survive a lot of negative challenges. So good for you for coming back and trying your own thing, girl. Woo! Gotta get that pussy power.
Annie, can I say something? Can I say
Go
something,
for it.
Annie?
Go for it. Go for it.
So, the last person I interviewed, Annie, was a guy who started a project called, what was it called? The Fill the World with Kindness, right? And this person was a child soldier. His name is Taser. You'll hear it on the podcast. I interviewed him.
I listened to it. I did listen to it.
Did you hear him? So there was a lot of things I had to cut out because, my podcast is not political, right? It's basically, tell me your story and I'll cut out the parts that I don't really want. Like, I don't need negativity, but I want reality. I want authenticity. So he was talking about being a 2-year-old who carried, like, he was a child soldier as soon as he could walk, right? And through giving him a platform to speak, he managed today, and I should have told you, Cyrus, I could have told you earlier, but I didn't. But he managed to get so he moved from Burma, and I got told that Burma is split into two. The foreigners call Burma Myanmar or Myanmar, and the Burmese call it Burma, because that was the name that the people that destroyed it, they called it. And him and his mother managed to get like status in Australia. He went to the Australian government. They're like, well, we don't know what you do. You could be a scammer. We have no idea. You've come to ask us for 5 million, right? And this is what I said to him. This was before I recorded him. And I said to him, be realistic, right? 5 million is a lot of money to ask if you have nothing to show for it. And today, so what I told him to do was this. I said to him, get at least 1,000 signatures, at least 1,000, and then go to the Australian, wherever you're going, the council, I say, because we live in England, go to them and prove that to them. And he said to me, I want to start my own podcast. I said, why? He said, because I never thought I could, but now I know I can. If I can sit and be real and tell the story to people and people listen and I get those signatures, it's not just a vision, it's something that's heard, because the podcast that I have is not just like in England. I have people in Guatemala, in Tanzania, in the Netherlands. in the most weirdest places in the world. And then today, Burma came up, and I was thinking, there are 23% of my listeners are from Burma. How? Although I speak about Darfur, where I was born, where I come from, I think podcasting, a lot of people think that you have to have all these technical equipments and you have to have this mic. You can do it from your phone. They think you have to pay X amount of money, you have to hire a studio. But I think it's not important to do that. What like my mentor Cyrus has taught me is sit in the wardrobe and speak, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I
it's
think
still-
like today's age is just what you're saying. I mean, we are looking for someone to look to for real news, and
Yes.
some sort of hope, because gosh, the majority of the population is pretty fed up with what's going on. It's not a happy go lucky time right now. And so I appreciate you for, putting your voice out there, because it's just so it's so important. It just really is so important. And like, for instance, I was out to dinner the other night in Naperville, which is that's where I live. It's a decent sized city, like 150,000 people. And there is like this little boy kind of like playing underneath his mom's chair. He's Indian. And I like was just going back from the bathroom, and I like waved at him. He's like, "This is my first time at American restaurant." And I was like, oh my goodness. Well, I hope you ordered a nice Coke. And he was like, shook his head. He was a little scared. But then I put up the sign, like boom, boom. And so I like to rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And he put out paper and I put out rock, and he grabbed my hand and he was like so happy. And I was just like, maybe I made his little first American dinner okay, but also he made my night. And the fact that, I'm here outside of Chicago, and he's from outside of Mumbai, and he just moved here, and we could both do this.
Yeah.
It was so sweet. And that's what I want to continue on with life. Just showing people that, at the core, we care a lot about the same things, and people don't get the right messages sometimes.
Can I say hello to Tabaloba? Hi, brother. Hey, brother. Sorry. Hi.
How you doing?
How are you? Who are you? Wait, sorry, Annie.
You never met him before, Topolobo. You hear from him in a second. So I just want to emphasize, you say between you and Joni, you said a good few things that we need, right? To keep the energy. And I said the excitement is about energy, really. It's about being driven to get to the end, keeping your energy. And I guess I've learned when we talk about energy, and that's what we're going to build on this. What we're talking about really, which is again the things that you mentioned. You mentioned vision. You mentioned getting someone to support you, a mentor, a coach, right? Someone's been there before, and who are you talking to really? I think again, proof of concept. As I think something else you mentioned just now, the 1,000 signatures, Zara.
Hi, Daniel.
We need all these things, but I think there's something more fundamental that I think we need, right? Joni mentioned that even things change, right? I think we need, here's my share today. Here's what I want people to remember from what I say today. This is all I want you to remember, right? Here's the problem. As we start something, we're excited, and then we think that we can think our way to doing it. we can't. We only do what we become. I've been saying this, I said this yesterday in my room about focusing. You focus on things that you feel, things that you think about, things that you feel are right with you, things that you're then willing to act to make happen, right? It's called being in alignment. If you're not in alignment, your energy will drain. When you hit hurdles, as Sarah's mentioned earlier, when you hit problems, when you hit the fear barrier, which is that it's a real thing, we'll all get there, right? So you must somehow get yourself. Don't think about the thing. Work on you. Work on what's in your soul. What are your beliefs? What do you really think is going to happen? What do you want to happen? Sarah's going to talk about expectations earlier. Don't worry about those things. Worry about becoming the person that delivers your solution. That's the answer to our question today, partly. Everything else that you mentioned, they do count. Of course they do. But be the person that delivers, that sees things through. Even if what you want does not have become what you hope it should become, don't give up. Finish it, see it through, right? Become the person that does that thing. When things are falling apart, think to yourself, no, I always see things through. I always do what I set out to do. I will do this. Even if it doesn't work, so what? Don't let that put you off. Carry on to the end. Become that person that you need to be to finish things through. Toby Lobos, share with us. What's your take on this topic? Have you experienced the energy drain, the energy dropout as you get towards the end, as you go further along your journey?
Many times, but first of all, I'm going to say hi to my sister in the room, Zara. I love your energy, right? Your energy, it's very impressive, and I've really had a encounter with beautiful souls and with dramas, and good to meet you. I like to meet you more. But to Henny's question, I've actually learned a whole lot, even why Sarah was speaking the other time to when Zara picked it up from a point whereby we feel like we know it all. And I think like a lot of us, we are very, very arrogant and proud. And we don't realize it that we are. Because that's why we choose to be depressed. That's why we choose to be stuck. I've been in that situation most of the time whereby the energy in which you get started with something drops. Me, I always want to use Bible analysis for everything. There is a verse in the Bible that made us to understand that nothing. I picked that part, that nothing is new under the heart. What will be, will be. I don't know what we are going through. I don't know what is going on with us now. There's somebody out there that's been through it before, right? You spent decades as a person. I'm talking to you, and then I would not be able to boldly say that things you've been through, that things I'm going through now that you've not been through before. I don't think so. I don't even think so. It would rather be the other way around, that there are things that you've been through that have not gone through it. So we kept quiet, feeling that if we don't say it, we can maneuver it, we can find a way, we can find the solution to the problem by ourselves, and by consulting our mind and everything like that. But actually, it does not really work that way, because I realized that, especially when the last 4 years, when I be like, okay, I want to find me, I want to do what makes me happy, and I want to do what can impact my world, what can make life beautiful for me and the people around me. You understand? The life just be crazy, whereby you feel like things are falling apart. Just right on this call, I don't know what happened to my gen. This is Nigeria, right? Electricity is not as stable like that. but I'm grateful for the one over here. So my generator is not bringing up the light, and my PC is practically going down. Do you understand? Then I'll be worried like, okay, this call is going to be ending anytime soon because I'm unable to charge my PC. Right on this call, I was just thinking, I was like, wait, everything still work out for my good. So I've got nothing to lose. Do you believe that within 30 seconds and they just brought the light? I was just like, if I worried, what will be will be. If I don't worry, what will be will be. But many people choose to be worried. They choose to be like, this thing is not going the way I want it. It's not going fine. I don't like the outcome. But honestly, if we keep calm, it's even easier for us to find a solution than when we are focusing on the problem. Because what you focus on is what you are going to attract. The energy in which you put to something is what you are going to attract. So definitely I feel about that. I feel it all the time. But I don't let it control me. I don't let it get into my life. I don't let it get into my problem. I don't let it be my problem and be like, okay, as long as this thing is not working the way I want it, that means there's a problem coming. There's, whether it works out or it doesn't work out, whether it's the way I want it and it's not the way I want it, what will be will be. And everything is still working out for my good. Whether I make mistake, whether I do it right, whether I'm able to do what I'm supposed to do, it's still going to be the way it's supposed to be. Right before this, I was having a conversation with a lady who happened to be my virtual assistant right back then, and they were willing to work together again. I was just sharing with her. I thought I was losing it. I thought things was not working out. But at the end of the day, when we get to the junction, things still work out. So we feel that, I feel it, and people get all distracted. Life distracts us. Aside even from the call coming to your phone, you could be like, you want to get something. Just like last week now, I have a lot of things I want to do, and I got knocked down by malaria. Do you understand? So there's so many things that distract what we do. We just have to come to the realization that everything still works out for our good, right? I'm just going to use the mic here, to learn more. I may still have more things to share, as time goes.
For sure. Thank you. Again, there's many things you shared there, right? They would say what we think. Yes, it helps us along the way, but it's not enough. That's why I say embodiment, alignment. Truly believe. Don't think, feel. This is a lesson I had to learn from my coach was telling me. How you trying to manifest anything? Again, what you think is what tends to come true to below. And if you worry, you're gonna have problems. Strange that. If you worry about your energy draining away, you're gonna have more problems. Focus on the fact that you have to get to the end, right? The end, you have to get to the end sometimes. Cyrus, I gotta take you off stage for a second. I'm not ready for you yet, right? Focus on what's going well. Yes, I said to below, but focus on what's going well, and just focus on just going through the steps. There's a couple of concepts I will mention when we come back. So let me show you my video for today, because I think it's easy to think the problems we have in this area is they're huge deep down, right? But there's so many different ways of looking at them. So let me show you. You can have a 4-minute video. Hopefully you get the idea. They talk about content creation a lot. That's what the people are. But I think our bold idea is like creating content. It's something unique, something new, right? The way we do on our own, essentially, unless you have a team like Joni has. But so let me show you the video, then we can begin to head towards the end with some strategies to keep your energy up. Here goes, my friends.
Everyone looks at the content creators on the timeline like, oh, they get all the benefits. There's so much that they live the life. It's easy. It's definitely probably the hardest thing I've looked to put my hand to. Just in terms of staying consistent, creative block is definitely something I've struggled with. Especially that's why the podcast is a great thing, because like, it's easy to kind of keep consistency and keep pushing stuff out. But when I was trying to write threads or when I was trying to do different angles, the creative block is like a mission in itself.
You know, a lot of people talk about, you know, a real job, and I definitely understand the argument that content creation, like, it's not a real job. Like, you have your own hours and flexibility and things like that, and I feel incredibly privileged to have that. And so I certainly agree with that take in some capacity. But that being said, I think people underestimate how hard it is to be your own boss, like straight up. When you are a content creator all the time, it's like, I could be doing something, and you have to sort of build that schedule for yourself. And if you are someone that struggles with like executive functioning, or you're not the most like disciplined with yourself, that is actually a huge hurdle and struggle, and something that I personally have dealt with. And also the parasocial relationships with the internet is a big one that takes an emotional toll. Displaying yourself publicly in front of thousands of people for 10 years, it has some psychological effects, as with any job, of course. But that one I do think has affected me and many others. So yeah.
I think the misconception people have is probably that they think everybody that's on camera is like an extrovert and just loves being on camera and you can just yap forever. In reality, I think most of the best content creators are actually introverts, and they're really particular about sort of like their image and the way that they're portrayed and stuff. Like Casey Neistat fits into this category beautifully. Like, he is awkward and like hard to talk to, but man, whenever he puts his mind like creating a narrative and crafting the right shots and doing all that, like it's beautiful. It's unbelievable because he's so self-aware about what he's doing step by step. A lot of times the extroverts can be great on like live improv kind of media. People are surprised to find out I'm an introvert, and I actually get exhausted being around people, but I also, you know, enjoy it to some extent.
Misconception of like Web3 content creators is that like they are just kind of the run-of-the-mill content creator, which a lot of the run-of-the-mill content creators are just solely focused on like the creative, which is like making sure that the videos are doing well. And they usually hire agencies or somebody to be able to come in and like help them kind of do the business and facilitate. I think the Web3 content creator is like very business savvy and also really cares about understanding the business of not just the project that they're working on, but also just the business of creating something out of like their content creation. So like a business around their content creation. Another thing is that like the misconception of like content creators is that like they're just like walking billboards or advertisements, and they're all the same. And I think that's something that consists of just like how I see communities and how I even see the people that follow my content. People like my written content more than they like my video content. And so it's just like having that understanding of the content creator comes with a whole bunch of context. Usually a lot of the projects blanket statement on everybody's just like, well, they're a content creator, you should make a video of X, Y, and Z, and therefore do the deliverable.
They think it's like a bedroom job where you just post and you make money, where it's not even the case, because you spend years of like grinding your posting for free, like for years every day, like that mentality, like, oh, I'm gonna post with like 0 views and we'll see what happens. And then when you actually finally do start getting like some sort of like awareness from people think like, oh, she just posts and then she makes like a ton of money. But like behind the scenes, like especially video creators, that's why I really respect, like Caleb and Luke, because I see how much effort their videos take, and I'm also a video creator, so I'm like, I know behind the scenes like what we do, and people would just think like, oh, that can be done within like 24 hours, which is so not the case. Like it takes days, it's a really high lift. So I really appreciate everyone in the space making videos, and like we see you, we know like you're working really hard behind the scenes.
I tell you, it's always nice to have some younger people on my videos. Normally it's older people like me who tend to show up and talk on videos, right? There's many things that were said which ties in what my friends are saying on stage and in the comments. So just to rehash some of the points, you will experience creator's block. You will. We will do. Whatever you're working towards, suddenly there'll come the day when you feel like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing this. So you must, as I said, we must keep pushing on, right? So the other thing that I would mention is that we're responsible for ourselves, setting our schedule to make this happen, right? Executive functioning. Some people look. There's something I learned when I was researching this topic, right? A lot of what we're talking about, a lot of the energy comes down to what you tell yourself you are, and what you are as a person. Who you be is what my friends used to say, right? Who are you? Are you the person that always does their best to deliver your best? Or are you the person who gives up when at the slightest hint of trouble, as Beloba mentioned, when things start going wrong? Do you start worrying and say, "Oh, it's gonna go wrong," or do you find yourself, and yourself is that person who believes in you, right? The person who says, "No, I always create genius. I always deliver great solutions. I always deliver what I want to do, what I plan to. Even when things go wrong, I still deliver," right? Personal organization is called personal organization. Be the person that is diligent enough and cares enough about you to want to be the one that always delivers. If you're not, halfway down the road, you will lose the whole executive functioning conversation. Don't be the person who doesn't have a strategy, doesn't have a plan, doesn't ever deliver. Don't be that person. Push through to the end, regardless, right? So another thing that was mentioned is the emotional toll. Look, creating your bold idea is not going to take a month. It's not going to take a week. Otherwise, everyone would have done it already, right? For all of us, everything takes years. It's taking me 10 years to get this far. Zara, hopefully you can do it quicker. But I'll tell you, Zara, I've done two different types of podcasts. One was interviewed by, one was me. And one in his happy hours, interviewing business owners. The other one was LinkedIn strategies, LinkedIn changes. So I know what podcasting is like. I know how long it takes. I know the effort goes into it, and it takes years to become that thing that you want to, that person you want to become, the one that everyone knows. Because again, it was mentioned, right? The grind, my friends, for years, no one's going to care. No one's going to give a monkeys what you're doing. They're going to just think, oh, whatever you're doing, whatever, right? It's for you to carry on through that. And don't give up then. The reality is that we always give up. We just when our success is around the corner. And don't give up because the going gets hard and no one's liking your post, no one's listening to your content, no one's watching your content, no one's watching or buying your solution. Don't give up then. That's when you want to go harder, right? Find the energy, go harder. We have to just learn to just keep going harder, right? See, then I said the last point I was mentioning in the video, which I think we need to understand, is the business. Sarah said it earlier. The main thing is the main thing. Don't never forget that the main thing is the main thing, right? Focus on that. The young man said, I think he's a young man. He said, the business of creation. What we're creating is one thing, but we have to know how to run a business behind it. If we're creating something and we can't see how we're going to sell it, how we're going to make it sustainable, how we're going to really build it and carry on for the long term and earn the money we want to earn, and everything we want to get from the acclaim, the celebrity thing, whatever it is, right? You have to create a business to make it happen. If you don't know, if you're fearing the more you do, oh, no one's going to buy this. They're never going to care. It's never going to work. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to do number 2, number 3, number 4. Again, there's a reality in creation, my friends. Your first solution is never going to be the best. Sorry about that. Sorry. You're going to have to create, iterate. So create, improve, and then that's how it goes. It takes time. Understand that. So look, there's something called the planning paradox. I think we need to bear this in mind, right? The planning paradox basically says whatever you plan is going to take longer to achieve. Your plan is going to take longer to implement. That's life, right? Plan that into your schedule, into your big plan. The planning paradox is real. Nothing's ever done quicker than you think, I assure you. Zara, I see your hand. Of course, I'm going to come to you next, right? Let me say one more thing, Zara. I think for me, maybe one of the biggest things that we need to focus on, I think Tobelepe mentioned this as well, is what I call mastery, right? As you're doing stuff, get on with learning more. Learn more. Become a master of your craft. Because here's what happens. We start doing stuff, and then we think we know it all. So Tobelepe said it very well. We think we know it all. No, we never do, right? We never do. So you have to find a way to keep improving. That's how you convince your subconscious that you are the guy, the lady to pull this through. If we stay stuck in our knowledge, then we're blown off course very easily. Make sure you keep your mind, keep your knowledge up. Become a master of your craft. Learn more, learn more, learn more from people, from things, from doing. Be excited to learn more. It's all of that it takes to overcome this energy drain. Maybe last time I say, my friends, you must get to the end. I'll leave it there. Zara, talk to me. You're on mute. You're on mute. Is it me? I didn't mute you.
No, yeah, I muted myself because you have a lot of very good points. So, Annie, I wanted to leave your listeners with this, a story, right? From the Mastery of Love. You've heard of the Mastery of Love, right? So, have you heard of it, Annie, or not?
Yeah. Sure,
so, the Mastery of Love. So, it's two dilemmas. The first dilemma is, imagine you have nothing in your house and someone knocks on the door and you're hungry and you let them in because they have a pizza. It's a pizza. No one come and say to me, I don't like pizza. This is metaphorically speaking. So they have a pizza and they come and they say to you, I have a pizza. Would you like me to come in to share it with you, right? And you let them in and you share with them the pizza and you tell them about your worries. Now, imagine the second scenario. You have everything in your house, all the resources you need, and someone knocks on your door and says, I have a pizza. You say to them this, I have more, come in. And they look around your house and they see that you're full. The reason I say this is because when you come from plenty within yourself and in your heart, you do not need someone to come and condition where you need to go. Every single person has love in their heart, whether they were told that love was too little, too much. Imagine if you have a kitchen full of everything you can possibly need, and you invite everyone on your table, no matter what food they bought, whether it was from Nigeria, Senegal, Sudan, Turkey, Iran, Iraq, Brazil, Thailand, wherever. I'm mentioning my friends there. You think, I'm so lucky, I'm so fortunate to understand that content creation, when you have people who are there sharing with you their things of who they are, they're sharing it with you out of love. And podcasting, and like Annie does an amazing thing because he brings people together. And I will never ever say that Annie is an individual who does not know people, because Annie knows a lot of people. So remember this, if you want to be the person who comes to Annie knocking on the door with nothing, he'll always offer you chicken. That's it, Annie. I'm done now. Thank you, Fernando's mate. I love you. Bye.
I actually like you to share my chicken with you, I gotta say. To be fair, right? Yes, Zara. So I share my chicken with you. Again, okay, you ordered salad, Zara, and I knew I saw what was going to happen before I came back to the table, which is that the chicken didn't have the salad didn't have chicken. It was a Nando's chicken. Of course, it should have chicken on it. It's Nando's, right? So strange didn't have chicken, but I think I clocked it didn't have chicken because it looked a bit, what's the word? Bread, those crouton things. I felt for you, Zara. I'll check my chicken with you for sure, right?
I think anybody who meets you meets someone who unlocks their potential. I genuinely think that, because when I was on LinkedIn, the first time, I didn't know, like, I teach English as a second language in the Middle East, right? I teach English in the Middle East to oil kids, the kids who like come from people with money. So I can charge whatever I want. I can be like, okay, so an hour is £60 or an hour is £120. I can do whatever I want. But when you meet an individual like Annie, he teaches you this. Every single person you meet is human, not a commodity, not like teaching. You literally go onto LinkedIn and you think, okay, so they're in the Middle East, they work in oil, let me get them as my students and I'll get paid this. Annie, oh my God, 1 second.
You're famous. Go on, Cara. Sorry.
No, but Annie, genuinely, Annie, you have given me more than I've ever thought. So everyone that's listening to this today, connect with Annie, because Annie, genuinely, I'm so happy to be part of your musketeers or musketeers, depending. Tú sabes, yo no querer comprender esta palabra en inglés. I don't want to say in English because I don't. Yo hablo español más que inglés. I speak more Spanish than I do English.
I mean, Zara.
Now she speaks Spanish fluently, right? Now she speaks Spanish as fluently as it comes, right?
No.
I mean, sorry, you're really getting sick card right now. Like, everyone loves Annie. We all know, but he has plenty of flaws.
Annie,
well.
everyone connect with Annie. Everyone connect with Annie. Annie is literally the person.
I mean, it
makes
keeps going.
Genuinely.
I'll be your new wife.
Go on, Jody. I have many flaws. Of course I do.
Yeah, you do. You do. I
course
know
I
that.
do.
I will point them out. I also love Annie so much. But no, that's actually true. I really do. I really love all of my friends on LinkedIn, and I think you guys are great. And I would like to leave you guys with one story.
Go for it.
Okay. So Annie, did you say you liked playing a skiing game?
It used to. Back in the day before PS1. Before Spectrum. That gives you an idea, right?
It's like a downhill skiing game. Okay, so I like to ski. I'm pretty good at it. It's like not like my favorite, but like I'm pretty good skier. And I went on a date and this guy is like just talking up his skiing skills. And this is back in like December or something. And I'm like, cool, let's go skiing, because there's a couple of mountains that are like not challenging at all around where I live. And so he gets there. We pay for all the skis. Like, we have skis. And he's like, oh, I just need to exchange these for different size. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I go outside, put my skis on, and I can't find him anywhere. Like, just, he's gone. And I'm like, I don't really want to take my whole skis off to like figure this out. And my like boots and phone and purse are in like a locked little locker thing. And so I'm going down the hill a few times. I'm like, oh, it's pretty easy. And so then I can't find him. He's just gone. And so finally I'm like, all right, enough is enough. I take my skis off. I went back and found my phone, and he was like, they didn't have the right size skis for me. So I'm upstairs at the bar. And I was like, what? I'm like, I've been riding this ski lift by myself, going down by myself, and I'm like, you couldn't find the right size skis for you. Like you're 5'10", you're a normal human being. I'm pretty sure they have them. He's like, it's okay, I'll get the refund on the ticket. Like, no big deal, no big deal. And I was like, yo, if you were scared to ski, like, why did you hype up? And he was like, well, I wasn't scared. And then all of a sudden I felt such empathy for this guy who was like, he's trying to like be like courageous, I guess, maybe because I mentioned skiing. And like, then he totally chickened out. And I was like, maybe we should have stayed home and played video games instead. I don't know.
Don't chicken out to the point, Joni, right? You know, don't
He had
chicken
all
out.
the gear, like
Yeah.
Patagonia, like head to
No,
down,
no.
like it most expensive. And I think he was. I have my own skis that I got at a garage sale, and I think he was like overwhelmed by that. But I mean, he had like the best gloves, the best hat.
Yeah, there's something we say
No,
this
it
time.
was.
We
But
say
it was an
Joni,
empathy thing at the end. It was annoyance, then laughter, and then empathy. And I feel like that's how a lot of life goes. You're annoyed, you laugh about it, and then you have empathy for it.
yeah, no, don't be the person in Joni's stories going forward, the person that we say has all the gear but no idea.
Just take a
Yeah,
risk. Take your
you know,
risk.
has
Don't
a
be a
gear,
cocker.
doesn't do, right? Tell me
It
over.
was funny. It was funny. It still makes me kind of laugh.
Yeah,
The poor guy, he spent so much money on this, and like that just never went down one time.
You know, again, there's something there. You know, we spend a lot of time on the project and never see it through. That's the point of today's conversation, my friend. Don't be that person, right? And it's your choice to become that person. We can become a different person. Tobiloba, share with us, my friend.
You know, we all have good things to say about Ernie, right? We all have good nice things to say about him because I remember there was a guy that reached out to me a couple of years ago. I think about 2 years. From one African country like that. That's when Audio was very active. And we're just like, okay, any referred him to me that okay, I could help him to do X, Y, Z. I was like, wow, you know. And then we need to understand one thing, like, you know, because of this, your attitude towards everybody with me is actually was changing something indirectly. The way we treat people is not changing indirectly. So when we meet good people, it rubs on our body as well, right? It rubs on our body. We feel like, okay, if this person could treat me right, I want to treat the second person or any person I meet. I want to treat the person nicely again too. I want to do it to the people that comes my way. So I actually have a whole lot of things to share about. Because I shared with you last week how a lady, I was connecting with a lady from, and I think from the state. Is it Robbie? I don't know. I want to know. And she was telling me about you, right? She was telling me like,
Ruby.
yes, Ruby. Yes, from United States. She was like, you know, and I was like, wow, we're just speaking goodness about you. You know, it's good to be good, right? It's good to be good, and that's telling us that how amazing you are. And Jesus to tell you that indirectly or directly, you're impacting life, you're changing lives, you're making things better. You know, just like what Zara may mention the other time. There's a student I used to have before she became a graduate and something like that. She has been my student, learning copywriting, learning how to stand out on LinkedIn and so many other places. And then she just came back out of blues and she's just telling me like this is what life has been treating her and everything like that. I first charged her a couple of naira. I was like, okay, go ahead. But I said that this lady struggled to even give me the 50% of the money. And I was just like, when I was done, I refunded the money she gave to me. And she was like, she was literally crying Now, this is just to tell us that we don't know what other people are going through. And then some of little kind hearts we show to people, it will really go a very long way, even for ourselves, because by the times you need help, you are going to get it one way or the other. See, there's an adage that is being said in my language that whoever waters any other person garden, his own garden is going to be watered as well. That's how it is translated. Whoever shows mercy is going to receive mercy as well. So thank you for being good. And it's rubbing off when people see you, okay, you know any, it's one way or the other is adding value to our life too. And it's one of the reasons I'm always here. I'm always want to be like, okay, let me go to any room, let me be in there. And then it's an amazing thing to see the goodness that you bring to so many of us. It's amazing, and you have your flowers. Really good.
You're too kind. You know, I'm humbled. I'm blushing. I really am. You know, I've suddenly gone orange, right? You know, but thank you for your kind. That's all of you. Thank you for your kind words. You know, there is a lesson to learn from what you're saying. You know, it's not about nice. It's not about me being, being nice. I think here's the truth. Our bold idea is to help others. To solve a problem for other people. Otherwise, what's the point of creating a bold idea, right? If it doesn't help people, then we miss it. Here's my point. We need to see our bold idea through because it's going to make a difference to people's lives. Bear that in mind. Keep that in front of your mind all the time, right? The people you're going to help, people whose lives are going to change, they're not going to have the pain that they had. Yes, entrepreneurs are well-minded, but deep down, of course, we want to make money too. But service to others is what we're here for, and that service, for the reasons my friends just mentioned, that's why I keep in mind every day. That's why I wake up every day excited about life, because I'm gonna do what I do. You're gonna enjoy the show, my friends in the audience. Those who come to the studio are gonna get visibility. Hopefully you're going to connect with each other, have those conversations. And I just, I live this world to elevate people. I'm sure you do too, right? I'm saying, never forget that. When the going gets hard, remember that you're here serving people. That's what you're doing. So every one of you that joins in my events, everyone that joins the comments, I say, I'm so grateful to all of you. Again, let me extend the point and say, I guess I want to believe there's a reason why you meet people. Have you noticed how the people that you need are not always new? They've always been there. We just didn't see them in that light.
That was on point.
I told Zara this morning, right? Maybe it's God that suddenly makes you aware. Once you set your goal, suddenly you see who's there to help you, right? I told Zara this morning. Zara was essentially, I think Zara did a post, and her point was that you have to be gracious to receive. We're all very good at wanting to give, but there's a value in being the person who's gracious to receive input from others. When I started this show, my friend is Lolette Hudson. Probably the most successful author I know, because her book has sold way past 20,000 copies. And so she supports entrepreneurs to achieve the bold idea through her book camps. There's many coaches out there, my friends. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I've always had a coaching business. From the second month I was in business, I paid grants to have a coach. To learn mindset, I've had to pay coaches. My friends are coaches. I listen to Sean every week. Sean, he has maybe a sharing of beliefs. I listen to Dr. Marcia. I listen to Leslie Flowers, right? I'm saying, don't be, you never know too much. A coach can support you, can guide you, can tell you some things that you just don't know, right? Use those people around you. Take from them what you can. but learn from them graciously is what I'll say to you for sure. Look, let me go through a couple of comments. I'll get to Cyrus to give us, and I know Cyrus probably wants to play something for us. So I do want to say, Nat, I think I agree with you entirely. As Cyrus said, stick to your steps. Following that, there's a question I want to ask now, which I will ask at one of my events coming up. What's more important, the goal, the prize at the end, or your bold idea, or the process, the steps to get? If you stick to the process, you get there, right? And no skipping or straying from any steps. Don't do the steps half-heartedly. If something goes wrong, explore the barrier and adapt and overcome. I agree with you, Natalie. Pursue your goal until it comes to fruition. That's genius. That's really that's the answer to our conversation, right? Now, Daniel, I agree with you as well. Too many forget to take time off. You'd be much more productive and successful by remembering to take a day or a weekend off. I'm guilty of this, Daniel, but I guess I take time off every day. That's the way I look at it. I spend time with family every day. I do go and sit with my son for no good reason other than to annoy him. Even though for a couple of hours every day. I'm saying, take time off. Your health is your wealth. We say that very often. Do we really mean? We do mean it. If you're not healthy, you can't follow through in your idea. Whatever that means. We started off today talking about herbs and supplements when Gladys was here, right? I'm saying your health is everything. Look after it. If you're not healthy, you are going to be limited what you can achieve, pretty much. Part of your health is self-care, as Daniel's saying. Look after yourself and genuinely do what you have to do to make sure you're healthy. If you stray from your path, return to your path post haste. Cool, that's genius. That again, it sounds simple, but it's so true, right? It's so true. If you fall off the horse, get back on the horse. Don't spend time, worrying about the fact that I haven't done what I was meant to do today. Do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. If not, do it tomorrow. Don't go an extra day without doing it. And beating yourself up because you haven't done that thing that you're meant to do, that step. No, get on with it. We'll like I said to you, the planning paradox is a thing. Your plan is not going to stay as a way to be. You're going to have to change and adapt and flex. And we'll fall off every so often. Just get back on the horse, right? Natalie say, don't forget Amstrad and Commodore. I don't think I didn't have an Amstrad or a Commodore. I had a Spectrum, Natalie. For those who don't know the old computers where we started off from, you'd be amazed. Computers with cassettes. I think that's the most amazing thing. How does a music cassette play a video game? I never knew. That was genius. That's where you knew that something good was coming, right? Have I missed anyone? Yeah, Annie, I do see you. Daniel said, great conversations and such interesting people today. I need to run to a meeting. Thanks, Daniel. Look, do connect to Daniel. He's an interesting man. He's got years of experience in business, proper experience, right? And you need to learn. We all need to learn from him. I say his service to put you in publications and podcasts as well. I think he has people to organize to find podcast spaces as well. Talk to him more that you know what he can do for you. So that's most of the comments I want to go through. As Natalie says, I'm always learning. When I cease to learn, I cease to be. Oh, Nat, you're on fire today, Natalie. You're on fire. You really are. That's what we'll take away from today, my friends. That is part of the key. That mastery, your personal organization, that mastery. We must. If you feel like you are a genius or something, then you can follow through. If you feel like you don't know enough, if you start questioning yourself, doubts, fear, anxiety, we're done. That's where our energy goes, right? Cyrus, I want to come to you, my friend. Talk to us, Cyrus. Yeah, okay. Cyrus, what am I doing? Am I putting you on stage? Mr. Cyrus, talk to us. Where have you gone, Cyrus? Okay, Cyrus, can I hear you or not? Okay, so Cyrus is showing us our screen.
Cyrus, what time is it there?
It's 8 o'clock, 8:30, 8:38. Cyrus,
8:37.
we can't hear you, Cyrus. Okay, Cyrus needs to come back with it, with his tech. So of course, I love this.
Well,
give yourself grace. There's that.
I'll give him grace. Because I actually really like Cyrus. I've actually saw Cyrus probably a couple years ago, not in person, but through different podcasting. And I also would like to say that he's done great, and is just an empathetic human being, and that's what we all strive to be, right?
True.
So,
we do. Have you noticed, Joni? Many people have disappeared over the years, right?
they really have. Like,
really
that's why I'm like, wait, who is that person who commented? It was so kind. And so I like to write them down because, like, you know, some people are really struggling out there. And I just like, what did they do to themselves? Where did they go?
Yeah.
Maybe they got a job, maybe something else.
Yes,
So,
no.
anyways, I do try to keep up with everyone who has been just interesting, kind, and wanting a better life, and so that's a good thing.
Yeah, so the thing that you're one of those people who does all that as well, Joni. So I'm lucky to have friends like you who are those people. You can't be
I'm
nice.
just like real. I'm like, Annie, this is my address. If anything happens to me, you make sure you know my address. Write that down in your Rolodex.
Joni,
I'm not just an online person. I am actually real in this house.
She is. But we all are, right? Like, we all are.
We are real. We are living
an online person yet.
We're trying to break out of some sort of mold that we created for ourselves during COVID. You're just like, okay, go to the grocery store today.
We're doing it, Joni. We're still here. We're still on the journey. We're still energized.
I know we're in the journey, yeah. And I think this topic was really nice. I think it took a left-hand turn somewhere, but it went well. It went really well. I love Zara's comments. I mean, what a fantastic human.
Yeah.
So
I
was happy to be a part of it, and yeah, my contractors still haven't shown up, so
I like that.
I'm still here, but I might go for a swim really soon. So where is Cyrus?
We're nearly there. Is Cyrus come back yet? He's probably
preparing some music.
Probably restarting his computer to be able to to be able to get the content to us. So let me go
really sweet. Like, Annie, if you think about back 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, like everyone would join people's LinkedIn live rooms, and it felt like a connection to the outside world, like after COVID, and it was something magic. And we met so many good friends for life. I have plenty of friends who will call me about whatever they're going through, or how to keep achieving their big idea. And I think it was this silver lining in
I hear you
the
now.
end of COVID.
Okay, now I'll continue to say in a second, Cyrus. It's one of my friends the other day, I mentioned this quite often to if we're on my Zoom calls. I mean, they said no, we have to get past that veil that come with online relationships, online conversations. I'm like, no, there's no veil. This is our reality, Joni. This is our everyday. Now we're online. You're here. You're online, but we can build that relationships be genuine. We can. If we don't, it's our choice because we choose not to be open and not to be ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, this talk about authenticity. I think that it is a choice. Are you going to be real or are you going to be fake? Right? You know, that's we'll have to be real.
I think it's so like, you know, there is something to be said about like shaking another person's hand or giving them a hug, but there also, you know, people who've really made an impact on you. They resonate with you. They're part of you. It doesn't online, in person, whatever. It's not. It's definitely not weird, and I think it's really healing, especially for those people who just like are really like pretty isolated. So
you know, I mean,
hi guys, we're isolated. I love you. I love you. I love you. Mwah.
We're going towards that world. I think the next stage in the AI thing is going to be virtual reality, where we're literally walking down the room with our friends, not just on screen. I'm saying not just, you know, literally you're in the same space, your avatar is anyway. And we can interact as if we are, you know, literally shaking hands in real life. That's why I think anyway.
You're just like giving knocks to a like AI. You're just like,
yeah. You know, Gladys, I agree with you. Look, when you feel your energy draining, find a solution. We'll talk about many solutions today.
or if you're feeling lonely. If you're feeling lonely, that's the worst feeling in the whole world. If you feel lonely, you know,
reach out is a word, Joni. Reach out to someone. I agree.
I'm really trying to remember the number from This is Jenny. I don't know. It's like 5675099. Okay, but no. If anyone needs to talk, you can just talk to me. I am usually available. And if you're feeling lonely, gosh, I felt that feeling.
We'll have, Jodie. We'll have, right? We'll have.
We all have.
Yeah. So, you know, you're not alone. So now reach out and accept.
You're not alone.
Grace. That's what Zara was pointing to with the pizza story earlier. Accept input. You know,
what a wonderful woman she is. I can't wait to listen to her podcast.
People helping you does not mean you're less than. People helping you, you know, because you deserve help, you deserve support, you deserve all the things that it takes.
Yeah. Definitely doesn't mean you're less than. It means you're more than. You have the grace to reach out and be like, hey, I can tell you personally, 6 people from LinkedIn minimum have reached out to me during hard times. And I'm like, yo, you know, let's put a pot on the kettle or the kettle on the stove, and I'm like, we're going to have some tea. We're going to work this through, and I'm going to tell you some jokes. And I think it is, it's so important because so many people lost a lot of good connections through COVID, or lost parents, or don't have children, or, you know, the dogs can only do so much. They're good, but they can only do so much.
I agree.
I'm here to just say, hey, I'm not a coach. That's what I want to make sure everyone knows. I'm not a coach. I am a friend.
Connect with Joni. We all need friends. You know, you're to friends.
You want a friend? Yeah.
Right? They're the ones who will get us through the hard times. Unpaid, half of them. Yeah, but no, they're all unpaid, sadly.
All right,
you know,
I'll listen to Cyrus now. All right.
As a client, I would charge you because if it's, you know, I say talking is free, work costs money is what I always say, right? But Gladys, I say to you, stop focusing on the problem, says Gladys. You know,
I should charge you. I'm upping the audience for your podcast.
Look, this is my Gladys's point. See, we have a weird habit, right? I'm losing energy, so I'm going to focus on gaining, or I'm going to focus on not to lose more energy, right? Focus on the project, focus on mastery, focus on developing your skills to deliver the project. That's the real problem. The problem is not you that you're losing energy and momentum. The problem is that you're not focusing on the business of your project, right? Focus on the real problem. So I love that, Gladys, for sure. Let me welcome Gloria. How you doing, Gloria? Welcome. Glad you're here. So Kazim.
And Annie, honestly, I mean, I've been saying this for years, like, just get more sleep.
Yeah. I try, Joni. I try. I'm doing better. That's all I can say. It's not just you. Andre, our burner expert. Glad you're here, my friend. I'm looking forward to the project you're doing with Christiana, I believe, and Zion. I think you're doing a seminar. So connect with Andre and find out what that seminar is all about. It's not like, I think it's about coming back from tragedy. That's the way I can see it. That's how I can explain it. Gladys, we need to keep learning and growing. Yes, we really do. The day you stop learning is the day that you stop being, as Natalie said, right? When we keep learning and growing, we'll build the excitement. We'll keep the excitement going. We're curious. That's the point. Keep learning. Mastery is everything. Be the master of your craft. You never know enough in any sector. So we will have more to learn, Gladys. I agree with you there. Link to user says, hello. Of course, Annie. I know it's you, my friend. Oh, superstar Joy. How you doing, Joy? I come into the Joy's post. Now, Joy does many rooms about emotional intelligence, emotional well-being. So I'm glad you're here, Joy. I'm
She's
glad
really like an amazing person to know.
She's the loveliest person there really is.
She's so lovely. It's just something about her affect too. She just like, yes, now we're going to do this. It's just I just love her.
No, she does some webinars as well. So I've been doing a good few of her webinars, Zoom meetings, which they're always amazing. Joy, thank you for being here. So be excited about new tech and ideas. Learn how they can be applied into business. Indeed, of course. Someone mentioned earlier on, I don't know it was Cyrus or whether it was Tobiloba, that things change, life changes, right? Prepare for the changes. It's fine just to change. You must adapt. Don't be scared of those changes. Take some of those things that will change. You may well find halfway down the road, part of the reason you lose energy, you lose hope, you lose excitement is because your industry has changed. To give you an idea, so when I was a student at uni, all I wanted to become was a personnel person. Work in personnel department, look after the staff, do good things for the staff, make them work harder, make them achieve more. Then I can live there for about 50 years, then I can retire and I could die. When I finished my uni, when I finished my degree, suddenly there was no personnel. It disappeared. It became HR. So I had to adapt and do business psychology and learn HR. I'm saying adapting is everything that we have to do in business as well. Natalie says, observational reflection, there are a few obstacles humans have not conquered. Even sickness and an injury can be overcome more often than not. Many of us do and will continue to adapt and overcome transitionary experiences until it's time to go into the unknown, for the next stage of our respective journeys. That is so true. It really is. Prepare. Pivot is the word they use these days, right? Pivot. Pivot, change where you have to change. What did I read? What's the book called? Who Moved My Cheese? Him and Her. Two mice. They used to run around the cage, and the food was always where it was until the food moved. The cheese ran out. What do you do? One kept going to the same place every day. No cheese. Yeah, and of course, you know what happened to that one, right? It died. The other one decided, I'm going to move on, look in different parts until I find more cheese. They did. And they're still alive, right? Sheldon, welcome to our IT genius friends. And Sheldon, so glad you're here. Congratulations on your new job. Superb. So glad you're here. What else do I see? Maria said, this is a share. When I started my first business, it was a travel management company. I was around 97, 98. Wow, Maria, you're showing your age there, my friend. No, we're about now. I'm sure we're about the similar age. But I was at uni in 97, 98. And before Google, yep, I was there, Maria. I drew out the concept on the back of a napkin at the Oyster Bar and restaurant in New York. And when things got so tough, my mom would always say, look at what you mapped out. Follow it through and keep your eye on the prize. Yeah, I still remember that. That being said, it's still not easy. Of course not. Nothing's easy, right? No, thank you so much, Maria. That's a good lesson to learn. Yeah, there is no strength in silence. I see that. So let me stop talking now. Dr. Marcia, what work have you have?
I like to,
please feel free.
I like to just share one little thing, there was something that I posted, I think just a couple of hours ago, like I hope you know that nobody goes up. Somebody will have to bring you up, right? The point is that we feel like especially people that trust in intuition, trust God and everything, want to be like, the way I think about it is going to come alive. The way I want it is going to come. I believe that it's going to come alive. That it's going to work out. I so much believe that. I'm not doubting what you believe about yourself, what you believe about God or anything like that. But the moment you map out the equation of human heart, you map out, you feel like you neglect the human part of it, then you begin to have a problem. Because the moment you want to achieve something, it is in the hand of somebody out there. It's just like you've not been looking for it. Whatever you want to be, whatever you want to achieve, is either locked up in a conversation, just like the way we are having now, is either locked up in somebody you've not met, or is even around you, somebody that you do not know, or somebody around you that you know, but you never seek for such a thing from the person before. Or basically you feel like, could this person have such things? Could this person have a thing? I was opportune to attend an event on Saturday, last week Saturday, and I was just like, what am I going to learn from me event? Like, I was looking at the people at that event, like, what could they be able to give to me? And I was shocked when I got there. I learned so many new things that day, and I know that so many people are like that. What's that boy going to say? What is he going to let us know? You feel like you know it all, and that's one of the reasons it keeps us down. Do you understand? We are in the same place all the time. The Bible says a man diligent in his work, he will not sit before mere men. He will sit before kings, before nobles. So when you are diligent, when you know more about what you do, when you get better on a daily basis, when you know more than yesterday, definitely life is going to fall in pleasant places. So you have to decide what you want tomorrow to look like by what you're doing right now. What you are engaging right now is what really matters, not what is basically coming up in next 1 year or 2 years of your life, but what you do right now. The process, just like we may mention the other time, it's more important than the big idea, than the things you feel like the arrival, the goal, the end goal. It's more important, all those things that you do. So I feel like if we can adopt all of these things, we will be on our way to a better house, to a better life, to a better achievement. Yeah, I yield my mic, and thank you so much.
Thank you. I definitely I agree with you. It is, reach out to where you need help for sure. And no one knows everything. And for the curiosity to learn and keep learning and get better and better. That's such an important part of this conversation. That's how you keep your energy up, right? Because you can improve your solution even before you let it out to the world. You can improve it after you let it out to the world. If you never get better, know more, do more, be more, you can't improve, you can't change anything, right? And then you might get discouraged. Dr. Marcia, I see you. Dr. Marcia says you need faith, indeed. Again, your bold idea is not a fluke, it's not a random thing, it's a gift you have from the gods. I agree with that, Dr. Marcia. I truly believe it's you. It's for you to deliver the solution to the world, right? And focus, Dr. Marcia, that's such an important word. Focus, attention and emotion equals focus. Add alignment, then you have purpose as well. Focus on purpose, right? and I truly believe in that you are, and being the person to deliver this thing. Learn what it takes. Do what it takes. You have to learn from others. And Dr. Marcia, you say legacy. I tell you, these are things that keep us driven and motivated. You know, I met a boy the other day in Karen and Jones' Empowerment of Mind, Body, and Soul room. 18-year-old boy. He's written a book already, and I think he completed college and high school on the same day. So that tells you, I guess that's at a young age, right? And in the comments I put, you've already started building your legacy. Our bold idea is part of our legacy. It's the thing that we're going to leave the world with. Whether we do it well, or whether we do it badly, whether we just start and then they'll get to the end. See it through, because this is part of your story. This is what's going to be your tombstone when you die. It's your gift to the world. So you'll be remembered by. And when the gods come asking you on your deathbed, what did you do with your skill that we gave you? Don't be the one that says nothing. I wish, I coulda, shoulda, woulda. No, be the one that says, here's what I did. For better or for worse, I did my best. And that's the story you want to tell yourself as well. Cyrus, you've been very patient, but we lost you for a bit. Do you want your screen on stage? Cyrus, come back. Cyrus. Okay. Let me put your screen on stage.
Yes, please. Yeah, I'm here.
There you go, mate. Your screen's on stage.
Oh, thank you so much. So, I just want to briefly talk about really, really hard-working people in this community. And I'm sometimes lost for words, and that's why I sometimes speak through the medium of music. One of those fantastic people that I want to cherish and focus on today is Lisa Fevik. I've certainly known her for over a year now, and I've learned a lot from her Metamorphosis room. I'm a man. I may not go through, physiologically speaking, I may not go through what women go through. However, if you're not a woman, you have women in your life. You have your sister, you have your mom, you have your wife, you have your girlfriend. Hopefully not at the same time, girlfriend and wife. There are a lot of hardworking people in this community, and my way of sympathy is doing things. I'm not much of a talker. I'm more of a doer, as Annie always says, rightly so. And before I play this, Annie, you are one of those hardworking people who are beneficial to the society, and this community that we have created, and we are all a part of on LinkedIn. And so I'm proud of you as well. Thank you for the things you're doing. So this song that I'm gonna play for you guys is called Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis, which is the name of the service that Lisa Fevik is creating and promoting every day. She's not just created it once, she creates it every day, because she gets better and better every day. If you're affected by menopause, or someone you care about has been affected by menopause, please do contact Lisa Fevik, and I'm 100% certain that she'll be more than glad to oblige. She'll be more than glad to help you guys.
Cyrus,
thank you, and thanks for listening as well.
Oh, Cyrus, I want to tell you, I love Lisa. She encouraged me to get my hormones checked, and that it was so interesting, the results. And so she is an amazing person. He is so right. Are you doing more of like a chrysalis or a cocoon with this metamorphosis? Do you know the difference? No.
I don't know the difference. No.
Okay. So Chrysalis is butterflies and cocoon is moths. Same thing.
Oh, nice. Yes, I love that. I love that
There you
differentiation.
go. There you go.
Lovely,
Okay.
lovely.
But I love Lisa too.
Thank you,
I
Johnny.
love her.
Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, here's the song, guys. Metamorphosis. Dedicated to everybody in this room and especially Lisa Furwick. There you go.
Transform your menopause with a dietitian and coach. Lisa Furwick's Metamorphosis is the best approach. She'll take your hand and guide you through with tailored plans made just for you, from hot flush waves to sleepless nights. She'll help you reclaim your strength and rights with mindful meal choices and mindful shifts. You'll rise again and your spirit lives. No shame, no guesswork, no feeling alone. Just wisdom, support, and a calmer tone. So trust the journey and embrace the change. With Lisa Furwick, your life's in order and rearrange.
Thank you so much, and I wish you guys a lovely, lovely
No,
evening.
I say thank you, Cyrus. No, I look forward to playing that as our opening song for your Metamorphosis from now on. Let's see
Yes,
what
that's the
Lisa
purpose of the song. Yes, yes.
no, thank you. You're a genius creating these songs. Like I said to
Cyrus,
Zara,
that's so amazing. Can you like
Did you like it?
stop doing one for me?
we love it. No, someone release a song, please, so the world can buy it.
I mean, it's
want-
amazing. Just
Yeah.
do one for me. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joni
sure.
was one thing. We're going to start doing rooms, but you have to meet with him, Joni, for him to understand.
Just
who
allow.
you be, who
Yeah,
you
but we're not gonna go my full name. That's ridiculous. I feel like you should just say Lisa. Take out her last name.
It's
Well,
fine.
I had to think about this, and I came to the conclusion that perhaps there's more than one Lisa.
Yeah.
Of
in the
course
world,
there
so
is.
that's why I had to
Lisa
differentiate.
Turtle.
There's only one Lisa F in our world, right, Cyrus? Like, thank you. my
I
friend.
know, but like it sounds too long.
Apple-
But I
Apple-
loved it.
Look, in the Cyrus, like I say, you're a master of your craft, so I expect you would make the changes as necessary. And you can improve the song as you wish in good time, right? My friend, I got a
absolutely.
meeting that started already, so I don't want to be here. I can't be here any longer. So I do want to go through 2 comments quickly, but I thank you all for being here. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you for taking part. Annie says, we all have a purpose in life, and that's to create your bold idea, my friends. What we do with it is our own path. We're all different, but nothing separates a human with touch, empathy, a human touch with empathy, compassion, understanding. Faith is a huge part of my life. Anyway, what's my purpose that God gave me is that I'm dedicated to caring for those who need me. I work so hard to make a difference. I love those who do around me. Besides, around you. I love those who do around you. Besides faith, that's never gonna do you a bad turn, even if others do not always do you a good turn. Being honest, loyal, genuine, true, and always be you. always.
Is that Annie Foster?
Yeah, I agree with that
And
totally.
I like
Yeah, that's
that, but
fantastic.
she spelled genuine wrong. Because genuine is rather pony.
I just Annie, let's not forget the chat as well. Natalie Thomas has been very
Yeah,
helpful
That's
to
Natalie
everyone
is the
today.
best in the whole world.
Natalie is a legend.
She actually
Thank
is.
you.
She
Natalie
actually-
says 3
she's
tips
actually that kind.
persevere to your goal. Truly be present as you observe, and be sure to keep developing your active listening communication skills. Network online and offline is who you know as well as what you know. Go forward with an open heart and open mind. In every change your world must be ready to pivot at any given moment. So that's so true, Natalie. Now, my friends, if you missed the messages today, do watch the replay, and of
That's
course,
true.
if you're on my YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. So I'll leave us today with,
You gotta, pivot.
with Maria says,
Matrix.
that was incredible. What a craft. The Matrix. Oh, that's a conversation with Halle. I think in 2 weeks' time, or no, next week Wednesday, we're going to talk about.
I do. I love the Matrix. I just love the whole idea of it.
Well, I think you love Halle. We actually get to meet her properly. I don't think we've met her properly yet. So I'll get her talking, and we get to have her spotlight. Okay, come and talk to her, of course.
And
My
Toby,
friend-
thank you for your shares. You were amazing.
Thank you. Well said, Joni.
Really kind.
I second that totally. Thank you everyone that's been here to share. Thank you everyone that's been in the comments. I appreciate you all. I can't do the show without any of you. Well, you all make it amazing. Joni, you're a star, truly. Zara, you're a superstar. Of course, you are. Cyrus, you're a genius.
Wait, she's a superstar and I'm a star?
You're a superstar too.
Can I be like a Nova?
You're a Nova star. You're an amazing star as well.
Annie, can I be a small planet and go and have my dinner?
No.
I'm starving.
You can go. We're going. Thank you so much. Now,
Guys,
Natalie,
I'm gonna have to love you and leave you. Take care.
Natalie in the comments, you're
I
amazing.
love you and leave you.
So much. So let me say bye to everyone so you can all go, right? So my friends, enjoy your night. Join me tomorrow to talk about when life spirals out of control. What do we do? Join us tomorrow for that, my friends. So below, enjoy your night, my friend. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drama. She's success with global.media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. She's success with global.media.